What's up, everybody? I'm back again, man. Just rolling to the crib, you know what I'm saying? Got off work. Still down there putting in street lights and getting all that stuff straight. Down in the a little city called Waterford, California. It's over in Stanislaus County, about 30 minutes east of Modesto. Old janky-ass Modesto. Janky-ass Modesto, you know what I'm saying? Peace to all the homies in the Desto, though, man. Them Desto boys all right with me. That's just a janky-ass town. But yeah, man. Oh, shit, hold on. I got a phone call coming. Yeah, man, I'm back. That was one of my friends from Oakland, man. She was calling. She called to talk about the election. And that's a trip, too. I probably won't do a video on that. But yeah, she is convinced that it was a sexist move. Then she said both times that Trump got in, it was because he was running against a woman and America didn't want a woman running. You know what I'm saying? It's all kind of theories as to why Trump pulled it off. But yeah, back to what I was talking about, man. The video is really, this one is really about self-reliance, man. You know, I know it's a lot of brothers out there, man, a lot of people, but I'm talking specifically to brothers, man. Like, self-reliance, man. That's the only key to riches. You have to be self-reliant. I remember when I was younger, trying to build businesses. I mean, I was just trying to build something great, right? Something that was lucrative. And like a lot of brothers, man, I don't know. I went through that music phase, you know what I'm saying, the beat making phase. I did all that. I mean, matter of fact, I was the first one out in the little town that we was in the South. I was the first one out, man. I was known for making beats. And it was crazy because back then you needed investors, you needed labels, you needed all that kind of stuff. It was crazy because every time I grouped up, got a clique together, you know what I'm saying? I was the beat master, had a DJ, and we were trying to build a label. The first deal we signed was High Productions in Miami, and this was years ago though, for real. The record charted Billboard, and I thought that was big stuff back then. But I got older and realized Billboard really ain't nothing to be. You could buy spots in Billboard, or if that still existed, it was Billboard magazine, Cashbox magazine, a couple of others, man, that were. Variety had a lot of stuff going on back then. Variety magazine had a lot of stuff going on musically. But yeah, man, you had to have cliques and crews, and you had to have resources. Everything that, the problem with that is having to have a group of people to build something. The problem with that is not everybody will think like you think. Not everybody rationalizes the way you rationalize. Like, some people will go along just for the ride. Some people go along just for the fame. Some people go along just to be on a winning team, or just to be associated with a winning team. So that was the problem I had, and I could never build anything tangible because I was with people. No, everybody was not on one accord, and that's really the problem. Everybody is never on one accord. Somebody always had their own agenda. Somebody always got their own way of thinking of how they will top you or top the crew. Everybody's got a way of, or got their way of thinking where they got to be the star of the show, or they gonna have to benefit more than everybody else. I mean, we've all heard the stories about it. We really have. depending on how long you've been living. But building something great, man, is really hard to do when you got multiple heads and everybody got egos. You won't build shit, or you won't build nothing that's sustainable, nothing that profits long term. There's always a backstabber in the crew, always. And I mean, and I'm probably going through all the same shit that a lot of young brothers go through now. A lot of brothers out there doing that street thing, trying to, you know what I'm saying, sell some shit to get people high with. You know what I mean? A lot of young brothers, man, be out trapping on the same corners, and they hollering they got each other's back. You know what I'm saying, to keep each other from getting robbed by competing crews or competing groups, or just you know what I'm saying, jack boys. People for real, like a lot of young brothers out there for real got their homies that they roll with. One is the sack man, one is the gat man, you know what I mean? And they watching each other's backs or whatever when they move. But even in situations like that, one of them always robbing the other one. One of them always trying to get one up on the other. Jealousy always steps in. Egos always step in. I mean, in this world that we live in now, you gotta be self-sufficient, man. And I went through a lot of bumps and bruises, and I'll get into that in other videos. You know what I'm saying? I had a prison stint, and that was crazy too. But we'll get into that in other videos. And yeah, I'll probably talk a whole lot about that, man. But after a whole bunch of bumps and bruises, a whole bunch of trial and error, a whole bunch of other craziness, self-sufficiency, man, was I had to shut myself off from everybody. I mean, straight up. I left Atlanta, Georgia, man, moved to California. Drove out here, man, just to get it up. And I had to get away from everybody that I knew. I had to get away from everybody that I associated with. Because at one point or another, like when my back was turned, this is funny. Hindsight is 2020, right? At one point or another, when my back was turned, man, the same dudes I was rolling with was talking shit about me. You know what I'm saying? And that blew my mind, because they was my boys. I thought they was my, you know what I'm saying? That was the crew. That was the crew. But it happened, man. And it happens to y'all too. I know it. I know it because I've been through it. If you start shining and you look like you outshining somebody else, it's going to be a hater around there, man. Like talking to somebody in your circle. And for a lot of y'all, the haters are in your circle. And every time your back is turned, you trying to do something for the group. You got folks in the group whispering, talking shit, right? All of those snake ass hissing behind your back. When it hit me that self-sufficiency was the only key to me finding riches, you know, I mean, I went through some things though. I had to go through some training, and I had to learn a bunch of other stuff. First, I had to unlearn everything I thought was true, everything that I thought was solid. I had to unlearn all of that, man, and had to learn new skills. And some of the skills I learned was becoming an electrician and all things electrical. And it's a trip because I started making good money, man, with electricity. I started learning by working with this non-union outfit. I started working with this non-union outfit, and it was an experience. It was a bunch of old tobacco chewing Billies and Bubbas, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, they were haters too. talk down, talk bad. I don't even know how I lasted with them, man. Because if it was anybody else, or if it wasn't so important to me to try to get some money together so I could build my own stuff, if it wasn't so important to me, man, I'd have been knocked their blocks off. But I'd have been back on the news, and I'd have been back, behind the wall for doing it. But I went through that. I remember going through that. But I was able to save some money. I was able to put money away, in retirement, for retirement. I was able to start growing. And I started seeing things differently. But being self-sufficient was like core in my being. That was my core. That's why I can preach about it. I went from learning electrical work, then, man, I started learning heating and cooling. But I actually had to go to a trade school for that. But I became a self-reliant, self-sufficient heating and cooling guy. And I'm a heating and cooling contractor now. But it's me, just picking up little jobs, doing what I can do when I'm not doing electrical work. But I made my best money. I got into the six-figure rail by being self-reliant. I remember a time in my life, man, where six figures seemed like it was really, really big money. And to some of y'all, it still might be. It's damn good money, I can tell you that. It's good money, but yeah, then it's, 7 figures, 8 figures, it's much better shit. But doing 6 figures by yourself is not hard. You just gotta have the right training. But I've been self-reliant for some years, man. Self-sufficient for some years. And I can make money moves now. I can do little stuff. Invest in stuff. Start little side businesses and I won't necessarily get into that right now, because when you start side businesses and you still doing your thing, like, you gotta have people you can trust. And for real, y'all, in 2024, 2025, probably and beyond, I'm serious, you're gonna have a hard time finding trustworthy people, especially people that's dealing with stuff that you put your money behind. So and that's the dilemma now. But at one time in my life, man, I was dreaming about being to this point. But yeah, man, self-reliance is what you really got to push for, because you really got to depend on yourself. And you hear all the time, invest in yourself, learn for yourself, and bet on yourself. Well, there's a lot of truth in that, man. And what I'm finding out is, I work around a lot of engineers now. I work around a lot of designers, and engineers in their crafts and their trades. And what I'm finding out is a lot of people become engineers, in college. They come out of college and they still young. They do their engineering thing for 5 years, 7 years, whatever. But by that time, as an engineer, they done saved up enough money to go out and go into business for themselves. And a lot of people do that. So, a lot of people come out of college with that goal, or with that mindset of being self-reliant, self-sufficient. And it's crazy because, well, it's not crazy. That's the way to go. But a lot of people where I'm from, a lot of people from the neighborhoods that I'm from, they don't learn it like that. They thinking, they come up thinking the street way is the way. And it's not. You can't build anything. And when you got to depend on other people, you can't build anything, because other people will nickel and dime your ass to death. They'll backstab you like hell. And their minds are not trained on business. Their mind is trained on scammy shit. On scamming, on robbing, on being sneaky, on lying. All kinds of snake shit. But self-sufficiency, man, if you could get your mindset wrapped around being self-sufficient, that would be the best way for you to succeed in life. And you can build yourself up as a one man money making machine, and then you could do like a lot of people do and start businesses that you control and damn near feel like you printing money, Self-sufficient, I cannot stress that enough, man. Being self-sufficient, you got to get away from everybody that's around you. And the snakes when you see them. A lot of homeboys, a lot of dudes out there, man. A lot of dudes out there got homeboys that done backstabbed them, but they're still hanging around them. A lot of dudes got homeboys, man, that done slept with their old ladies, that borrowed money from them, never paid it back. That took fronts, took fronts and went and fucked the money up. And they still hang around them, dude, because they homeboys. Man, a lot of folks got homeboys that ain't nothing more than they downfalls. But they hang with them because that's all they know. You cannot build with people that have, you can't build with a group of people. Egos always get in the way. You really have to get away from people, like I did. You have to get away from people and just start all over, man. And you got to base everything that you do on your own skills. Base everything that you accrue or acquire. Base that on, that's got to be based on what you know, on what you can do. That's got to be based on, it's got to be based on what you produce. Because you can't count eggs in a basket from somebody else. You can't count those eggs in the basket. You can only count the eggs that you put in that basket. And that's what a lot of brothers don't get, man. And it's a lot of people out here that live in circles. They live in circles. They try this, they try that, they try to start a business, they might get their hands on a little money from time to time from somewhere, and then they'll try to start something, but then they'll call the same sorry motherfuckers. They'll call the same sorry monk ass nigga, sorry motherfuckers around to help them build a business. And a lot of people out there, for real, like if you got 10 homeboys, out of the 10 homeboys that you got, maybe 2 of y'all got a mind that can be trained for business. Just because somebody make a little money and bring some money to the table, and just because somebody got, might look like they got their shit together, that is not the tell-all. The tell-all is over, not necessarily longevity either, just a short period of time. 6 months. You can watch people bumping their heads, coming up, taking losses, coming up with some bread and taking losses, but then it ain't never their fault. It's always somebody else. It's always, I ain't think it was gonna go like that. Or I ain't think it was gonna be like this. Yeah, man, shit, you don't think. People, I'm telling you, a lot of folks out there, man, their main downfall are the people would be the people that they're around all the time. And sad to say it, man, but a lot of y'all's family is y'all's downfall. I won't get into the story, get into stories that I can remember about mine, but man, a lot of y'all's families is the reason that you can't come up. You have to rely on yourself. And when you start on that self-reliance path, when you get on that path, you can't really tell a lot of people what you're doing. They'll sabotage it. But you just got to grow, man. You just got to grow. And you got to learn from people. So that means getting around other people that think differently. I cannot stress to you how important it is to just constantly elevate your attitude and your mind. You know what I'm saying? Your mindset, the way you translate people's words. You have to, and people's body language or body languages, people's nuances when they're talking. You got to be able to translate all that stuff. You really got to have a keen eye for a lot of things when it comes to becoming a self-reliant person. Especially if you were born without having a lot, or if your family didn't have a lot when you were born. You got to overcome a lot of obstacles. But it can be done. It's done all the time. It's really done all the time. And I see a lot of people out here in California, man, that do it. And it's crazy. I guess because that's where the mindset is here. It's not like this in the South. It's really not. You don't have, like, out of every 100 people here, you got about 80 of them, or I don't know, 80 plus of them that are just gear driven. They read a lot, they study a bunch of things, they try to figure out how things work. They try to figure out the intelligence side of things. So you got people that just totally think different out here, which is cool. And I mean, I'm sure Colorado's the same way. I hear a lot of good stuff about Colorado. A few other places like Austin, Texas. I don't know, the tech areas. Now I'm talking tech, but all of the tech people walk around and they treat themselves as if their brains were computer hard drives, and their brains were, wired. Their brains were wired to operate by themselves. Now, when they hook up, they treat each other like separate entities, but they know that they're dealing with other people who operate as if their brains were computer hard drives. But what's so funny is, if you got a group of 5 tech people and 2 of them don't seem to measure up to the level of everybody else, then everybody else just get together and they have a group meeting and they cut those 2 off. Hey man, I don't think y'all good for the group. Y'all might need to go ahead and hit the road. And it's no love lost, it's no hard feelings. Now the 2 that get kicked out of the group probably feel some kind of way. But that's the difference though. Like, they really operate that way. Now folks in the South, if you got 5 homies, man, and 2 of them ain't really cutting it, man, they still drink with them boys. Everybody still drink together. Everybody still going to kick it with at the same places. They still allow people that don't measure up to hang out with them. And then they can't figure out why they're not growing, why they're not coming up, because they're carrying dead weight. Anyway, on your path to becoming a self-reliant person, you got to get rid of all the dead weight, man. I mean, I did, and I hate to refer to people like that, but hell, it's the truth. I mean, it's the truth. And now with this internet age, man, there are so many one-man operations or one-man businesses that you could start on the internet. I mean, it's crazy. You need, I guess it still stands true, you need some money to make money. Everybody needs seed money to jump out there and start growing. I mean, or you either need a lot of, if you don't have seed money and money to get started, exposing yourself and getting your name out there, you need The second best thing is figuring out something that gets you a lot of attention. That gets you a lot of attention, man. Because that's attention is kind of like the new money in this internet age. But you definitely gotta get away from all of your distractions. Get away from the people that will cause you to slack off, or people that lead to your downfall. It's not hard to say who they are. It's not hard to pick them out. You just got to be smart about it. You really got to be smart about it. But again, man, I was just sitting here thinking, and I thought I'd run this out to y'all, man. Just drop another video and talk about the importance of self-reliance. I mean, I'm a California certified electrician, California state heating and cooling contractor, and I mean, it's a one-man business. My contracting business is a one-man business, so I'm self-reliant in that regard. And you deal with the ups and downs, the ebbs and flows, but self-reliance, man, you cannot underestimate the power of self-reliance. You can't. And you need discipline. You just really, a lot of people just need to, people that want to build things great, you just got to change you got to unlearn all the bad habits, change who you are, change your zip code, change your circumstances, change the people that you are around, and all of that is up to you. You can do that. Change all the people that you are around. You have to get yourself around better grades of people with better brains. And luckily you got the internet. Like when I was young, I didn't have it. But y'all got the internet now. So you can listen to all kinds of people online that are making good strides for themselves. And you can learn from them. You can definitely learn from them. And you can build, but you really got to get your mind together. Self-reliance is the key to success in America. 2024, 2025, and going forward. You can only depend on yourself. So, again, man, this is it's just a word from the homie, man, from Cousin Leon. And yeah, if you got questions, I don't know, man, drop me an email from time to time. Whatever questions you may have, I'll probably do a video on it. Whatever things you're going through, I've probably already been through. But it feels good, man, doing six figures now. I mean, it took its time, but I finally got here. So, I've been doing it for some years. It took its time, but it's cool. I'm with it. I mean, I'm down for the growth. At any rate, email me with your questions, or just holler at me, man. We'll chop it up. Email me at theothernomads@gmail.com. theothernomads@gmail.com. Cousin Leon, man. Self-reliance is the key. Remember that. I'm up.